Now that we've had a look at how to use tally marks, in this lesson we're going to look at sorting, organising and explaining the data that we collect. In a minute I'm going to show you a video of some traffic on a road, and I'd like you to tally all the different colours of the cars. But before we do that, we need to set up a place to tally. So on a piece of paper or in a book, I'd like you to set up something like what we've got on screen here. A space for red, a space for white cars, black cars, silver cars, and then any of the other colour cars that may not be red, white, black or silver, we're going to call those other. And we'll make a space to tally those as well. So pause here and set up something that looks a bit like this. That'll give you a place to make all your tally marks. Okay, we've got a short video here, and in this video you'll see cars going across the road. And what I'd like you to have a look at is what are the colours of the cars going past. That includes cars, trucks, four-wheel drives, utes, anything like that. So have a look at the colour. Now I've slowed down the video to make it a little bit easier to see all the cars. So that's including ones going both ways as well. What I'd like you to do as you see a car is make a tally mark. Just like on the example page before that showed the columns of making all the tallies into with all the different colours of the cars. So every time you see a red car, you put a tally mark in the red column. Every time you see a silver car, you put a tally mark in the silver column. Remember when you get to 5 tally marks to put a line through and make a group. Alright, so have a look at this video, and on your sheet of paper, on your tally mark sheet, that's where you record every time. Now remember, you can pause too. So you can pause after you see a car and tally that down. Okay, good luck, and we'll have a look at the results at the end. Okay, so you should have tallied for each colour car. And now we can have a look at the data. Okay, so let's have a look at the data. Now, you might have tallied it slightly different to what I did, because sometimes it's hard to tell if a car is silver or if a car is black or blue. But as long as you've got the right idea, you can change it if you want. Let's have a look at red. In red, I tallied 3 red cars. White, quite a few. Black cars, that was my tally marks. For silver, I tallied this much. And all the other cars, I tallied this much. So you can pause it here and have a look and compare that to your data. And the next step is to see what we can learn from this information that we've gathered. Okay, so I've put a little version of our tally marks over here on the right hand side that we can use to have a look at to answer the questions on the left here. Now let's have a look. Out of the 4 colours, and even including other, what was the most popular car that we saw in that video? Okay, well, looking at the data here, you can see that in red we had 3. In white we had 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 in white. Black had 5. Silver had 5, 10, 15, 16. So we can see that the most popular was, in fact, the white colours. Alright, let's have a look. The next question is, by how much was white the most popular? Alright, so let's have a look. I'll just move this down a bit. Let's have a look. We worked out that white was 18. And silver was the closest to that, which had 16. So the difference between white and black was just 2 cars. You can see here 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, plus 3 more. Well, this one only has plus 1 more. So there's an extra 2 white ones. So the answer to by how much is by 2. Looking again, just move this up to here. Now, the next one is least popular colour. Well, that's a little bit easier to see. The least popular colour would be red. It only had 3. So let's put that in. And the same question again, but this time for the least popular. By how much was it the least popular? What's the closest to being the least popular other than red? Is it other? Is it black? It doesn't seem that it would be white or silver. So let's have a look. Other has 5, 6, 7, 8. Black only has 5. So it's definitely black is the next closest. How close to red was it in our results? Black has 5, red has 3. The difference between 5 and 3 is 2. So the answer is 2. Red was the least popular by 2. Black was next. Okay, so, and then the last bit I've got here in blue is what's something that was interesting? So you might get a different answer to the person next to you or to me, but that's okay because it's just something interesting. What I found interesting was that there were hardly any red cars. I thought red would be a lot more popular, but even more so, black. Only 5 black cars. So for me, I'm going to write not many black. You might also write in a different set of data. You might have noticed that two of the colour cars were almost exactly the same. So you might have got one that had 12 and one that had 13. So that might be something interesting, that they were almost the same number of cars in each colour. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the last part of this lesson is explaining the data, and this is really important. Once you've learned something from the data that you've collected with your tally marks, it's really important that you are able to explain that to someone else. So I'm going to give you a choice of things to do here. It depends on what you've got available to use, but I want you to either create a video lesson using an iPad or some other kind of technology. Create a video lesson that explains the process of how you tally, how you organise your data, and then you can explain your results. Now you can use the same data we've used in this lesson, or you might want to collect some other data about something else. It could be the number of ants that walk across the path each day. It could be boys or girls going to the tuck shop. Could be lots of things. The other options are to create a how-to chart. Same kind of thing, but just make a little poster or a little booklet explaining how you tally, how to organise all your data, and then explaining your results. And you might also want to make a presentation where you actually get up and present that information in front of a small group or even your whole class. So I'll give you a few choices there. You might think of another way that I haven't listed that you could explain that whole process. Once you've done that, then that's the end of this lesson.